All right, it is empties time. This is gonna be everything that I filled up throughout the last 2 months. And let's dive right into it because there's more in here than there was last time. I feel like I had absolutely nothing to talk about over the last 2 months, and then all of a sudden I've got like everything now. So the first thing we're gonna talk about is a huge old bag of Epsom salts here. These are the Dr. Teal's Pure Epsom Salt Soaking Solution. This is the Soothe and Sleep with Lavender. Now, I don't really use Epsom salts regularly. I only really use them when my muscles are super sore, either from running or from weightlifting. I go back to these if I need something to like just calm my muscles down. And honestly, I couldn't even really tell you how Epsom salts do that, but the combination between the hot water and these kind of crystals does soothe my muscles and make them feel a little bit more relaxed. The lavender scent is something that I prefer in Epsom salts. I don't tend to love lavender in all kinds of other things like I know some people do, but for Epsom salts, lavender is the way to go for me. So I did really enjoy these and I would pick them up again if I needed them. Next up, I've got some makeup removing wipes. I've talked about these so much that you don't want to hear about them anymore. But these are the Neutrogena Hydrating Makeup Removing Wipes. They are the best. They're the only ones that I buy at this point, and they are the only ones that I will continue to buy because they remove everything. Waterproof makeup, hard stuck-on makeup, this gets rid of it, and I use them every time that I'm going to the gym when I'm coming from the office. I have a shower gel here by Bodycology. This is their Sweet Love Moisturizing Body Wash. This was, yeah, it's such a, I don't even know what the scent is, like what is Sweet Love really, but it's kind of like a floral candy. Like it almost smells like sweet tarts, but in a floral way. It's not usually a scent that I would ever gravitate towards. I don't really like most floral things unless it's like Lily of the Valley or lilacs or something like that. I never know how to say that word. Is it lilac or lilac? Anyway, so yeah, I really enjoyed this one and I think it's really good for the summer just because it's not citrus, which tends to boost me up in the morning, but it's kind of leaning towards that with the sweet tart scent. So I would absolutely get this scent again. I have a Too Faced glitter glue here. This is a small size, but this took me forever to get through. You really do not need a full size of a glitter glue unless you're using it near daily, really. Because I probably apply glitter once a week and this probably lasted me like 2 years. So glitter glue is fantastic, especially the one by Too Faced, but you will tend to notice when it goes off. I didn't encounter that with this one, but in past times when I've gotten a tube and then just it's gone to the point where it's kind of starting to expire, your glitter will start to crease. So I never have creasing problems with this until the product starts to go off, which tends to be around like the 2.5 to 3 year mark. Anyway, that's just a point about this, but this is fantastic. This keeps glitter on my eyes. It keeps it from creasing and I think it's absolutely wonderful. I have already since repurchased another tube of this. Okay, this is kind of nuts. I have a full House of Lashes Lash Story case that is now empty. This thing had every single lash in here, like all the containers were full. And I've used them all up. There was also some mini lash glues down here as well. This was released, I think, for holidays, not last year, it must have been the year before. And I was just so excited to get this and then use them all. I really like House of Lashes, and this gave me an opportunity to use so many other different lash types. So I learned which ones I like more versus which ones I like less. But it's gotten to the point where I've actually finished the whole box up, which is kind of wild because well, it doesn't say how many were in here, but 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There were 10 pairs. I have another pair of lashes in here. These are the Esquito Radiance lashes. Now, Esquito does make my favorite brand of lashes, but I feel like these Radiance ones, which are no longer in here because they're destroyed, I feel like they just did not last as long as my favorite ones by Esquito. My favorite ones are the Lash Lorettes or the Lash Name Desire. And these Radiance ones, I feel like they just kind of fell apart way more quickly than those other ones did. And I don't know if that's just because I got a bad pair on this one. They were beautiful to wear. They were just as comfortable as the other lashes, but I think I only got 10 uses out of them versus with the other ones, I get like 25 or 30. So they were pretty, but they did not last as long. So I probably would not repurchase the Radiance ones. I have a sample here of the Urban Decay Original Primer Potion. It is no different than I remember using years ago, but I'm at the point now where I can't just use one eyeshadow primer, so I doubled this up with something else, and I mean, it was fine. I have two eye primers here that I used up at the exact same time, which is kind of wild because I used them together for like more than half a year. So they are two ones by Essence. This one is the I Heart Color Intensifying Eyeshadow Base, and this one is the eyeshadow and primer 2-in-1. So I have to say I preferred the liquid version a little bit better. This is like one of those doe foot applicators, and I have pulled out the stopper to make sure that I got everything. These are just a little bit easier to apply. The one that's in a pot is just super difficult because you can't really use your fingers if you've got nails. So you basically need to use a brush with these. But I felt like the consistency of this was just a little bit too thick and a little bit difficult to blend out at times. I think it works, but I don't think it's like the best eyeshadow primer that I've ever used. I would choose this one over it instead of the potted version. The next product I have here is an Aveeno Positively Radiant Toner, and I love this so much. I don't really notice much of a difference with toner, but I've gotten very used to using toner, so I feel like I just stick with Aveeno because it's one of my favorite skincare brands ever, and the smell of this is so comforting to me. Yeah, it's Aveeno, so that smell is very part of me almost because I've been using it for so long. Anyway, there was a time years and years ago where I had an itchy forehead and I couldn't seem to figure out why. It's not like I had a bump or rash or anything like that, but I'd read something on here on one of these toner bottles at one point that said that it would relieve itchiness, and I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. And it actually worked, and that's the only time that I've ever really noticed like an immediate reaction from something skincare based. So whenever I'm out of any other toner that a brand may have sent to me or whatever, I always go back to the Aveeno one, and I have another one that's halfway done right now in the bathroom. I have a Neutrogena Naturals Acne Foaming Scrub. This is fine, but I'm not somebody who really has acne, so I didn't really notice if this did anything for my skin. I do like foaming scrubs, and I use a scrub on my face about once a week just to really make sure I got like the gunk out of my skin. I do tend to use them right after soccer, like on Sundays. Like I try to get all the sunscreen and sweat off my face with a scrub, and this one was good for that. I don't feel like I love the scent. Yeah, it's not really my favorite scent. I love Neutrogena in general though, so I would recommend their products. The smell on this was just not necessarily right up my alley. I have a makeup remover here, no surprise. This is the Marcel Gentle Makeup Remover for Sensitive Eyes. The best thing on the market. There's nothing better. This is the best on the market for makeup removers. I have a scrub here. This is the Tree Hut Shea Sugar Scrub in the Brazilian Nut flavor scent. That is my favorite one that they make. It is almost intoxicatingly good smelling. Oh, it smells like you just want to eat it. The smell is basically like brown sugar and Brazilian nuts, I guess. This is wonderful. However, I have discovered that there's something I prefer more, and it's Soap and Glory. It's like their breakfast scrub. They're both really, really good though, so while I prefer the Soap and Glory one, the consistency of this is just as good. I just prefer that scent a little bit better. What I enjoy about this one in particular though is that the scrub in here is not too loose. I hate when you get a body scrub that is basically a bunch of jelly with like a few granules in it. It's so pointless. Like that is not a scrub, that's just jelly with beads in it. So this consistency is perfect. It is a true sugar scrub, and you will feel like you're exfoliating your skin, not in like a rough way, just in like that perfect kind of way. So I would absolutely recommend the Tree Hut scrubs for sure. I have an absolutely beat up, disgusting Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge here. Yeah, this is gross. I used it up. I'm done talking about it. I used up a bunch of blotting papers, which is pretty unusual for me, but throughout the summer I've noticed that I can get a little bit shiny in like the T-zone, and I just kind of want to get rid of that if I'm at the office. So I've been using up these Mary Kay Beauty Blotters oil absorbing tissues. There were 75 in here. It took me forever to get through this because I don't always need it. They were fine, but they seem to also remove a decent amount of my foundation with it as well, and I don't know if that's down to the foundation or if it's down to the blotting tissue. I don't know a whole lot about blotting tissue, so it's possible that I was just, I don't know, overdoing it. How do you overdo blotting tissues? It's not a thing. Anyway, these were fine. They removed the oil enough, but they also kind of lifted some of my foundation as well. I have a body wash in here. This is the Dove Deep Moisture Body Wash, and I think this came in probably like one of those sampler packets when I placed an order on well.ca. There's a surprising amount of product in here. There's 88 mils in here, and I took this on vacation with me for a week and I still wasn't done it by the time I got back. So I was pleasantly surprised that I could try it out for so long. I do really like the smell. Yeah, it's actually really nice. But it's more of a cream body wash, and I tend to prefer gel texture. So while it's good, it's just not something that I would necessarily gravitate towards. Although it does smell good and it works just fine. I have a nail polish in here. This is the Icing nail polish in the shade Glitter Top Coat. Now this is a holographic silver glitter polish, and this is the kind of color that I only put on my toes. So I go through these kinds of bottles all the time. However, they're becoming increasingly hard to find. And I don't necessarily mean this brand in particular, but I feel like I can't go to the drugstore right now and find a silver hollow glitter polish. It just doesn't exist anymore. So I have to buy them basically at like kiddie stores. Because you always know those kind of stores where it's like they've got like a whole bunch of hair accessories and like some, I don't know, bracelets and stuff like that. Those stores, whatever they may be, tend to sell this kind of polish. So I'll always go in and like buy a few bottles so that I'm stocked up. This one I feel like was okay. I've never heard of the brand Icing before, but I didn't think it was anything special compared to all the other glitters that I've tried. I have two mascaras in here. This first one is the Essence The False Lashes Mascara, Dramatic Volume Unlimited. Love this one to absolute pieces. I think it's like $5 at the drugstore, if even. Wonderful, wonderful mascara, and this beats out high end like every single time. It is so, so good, and I will definitely repurchase it, but I'll also repurchase this one as well. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational Luscious Full Fan Effect Mascara, and I love this one, but I made the mistake of buying the waterproof version one time, and I won't be doing that again. I just don't need waterproof mascara. Both of these in their regular non-waterproof formulas are just perfect as is, and the waterproof one just became a little bit too difficult to get off when I was heading to the gym. Although those Neutrogena wipes will remove this, it's just too much hassle. Like, I don't need to be spending that much extra time yanking on my eyelashes to pull the mascara off before I'm going to the gym. If I'm coming home and using my oils, perfectly fine to get it off, but I just don't need that extra strain in my life when I'm going to the gym from the office. So love this one when it's not waterproof, but I'd had enough of the waterproof formula, so I ended up going out and buying like the non-waterproof formula the last time I picked this one up. I've used up a serum. This is the Lancome Advanced Genifique Sensitive Dual Concentrate. This was kind of bizarre because I didn't really know how to use it when I first got it. But there's like a blue cylinder of like goo basically that you like inject into this, which felt kind of fun, but then I was like, okay, what does this actually do? And honestly, didn't really notice anything. I know it's an expensive product. It showed up at my doorstop one day and I was like, oh, what are you? But I didn't really notice anything with my skin, and I think at one point I actually thought that it was breaking me out, which is very rare. Almost nothing affects my skin. But this is very heavily scented. Oh yeah, that's a lot of perfume in there. So I really liked the scent, so I kept using it even though it was breaking me out. Makes no sense. Or at least I thought it was. And I finished up the whole thing, but I could not tell you that this did anything to my skin whatsoever. I liked the smell, I liked applying it, but I didn't really notice the difference. Another thing I don't really believe in, eye cream. So this is the Tarte Maracuja C Brightener Eye Treatment, and I use this pretty regularly. I'd say like 4 times a week. Just under my eyes, over top of them, kind of like gently rub it in. But to me, it's just moisturizer, and I'm pretty sure I'd just get the same effect if I just use my face moisturizer in the exact same area. I use these things in the hopes that they are keeping my skin young, and if I didn't use it, maybe I'd look older at a certain age, but I mean, I just don't notice immediate results with skincare or even long-term results. I just feel like my face doesn't really change that much. So it was fine. I hope it did something for me in the future, but I didn't really notice anything right off the bat. So the next thing I've used up is a lip balm, which feels monumental. I am more likely to lose these things before I will ever finish them up. So this is the Hurrah Almond Lip Balm, and I probably got this about 1.5 years ago, and I loved the scent when I first got it. It smells super like almonds, and I really like the fact that the twist up is like an oval and not cylindrical. I don't know why I found that interesting, but I did. And I really liked it to begin with, but after like 9 months of use, I was kind of like, I'm so over this. So I pushed myself to finish it, but I think I'm like done with this scent. The product itself is fine. I like the Hurrah Lip Balm formula, but I would not get almond again just because I kind of like OD'd on it. I've had enough of the almond one. I have used up this Boscia Thermal Black Cleanser. This is one of those like sample sizes that comes in one of those Sephora 500 point perks and a bunch of other items. I really like this cleanser, like really like it. I have yet to bite the bullet on purchasing it because I know Boscia is a little bit more expensive and I can be really stingy with my money when it comes to skincare, but I'm pretty close to buying this just because it feels so lovely on the skin. This was fine to use in the summer, but I especially like it in the winter time because as soon as you get this on your face, it heats up, and that feels so nice in the shower first thing in the morning. So I might pick this up during the Sephora October, November VIB sale because that'll be the perfect season where I'll want to use it on my face in the mornings to like, you know, when you get in the cold shower and you get to like heat up a little bit, it's really, really nice. But I've been through so many of these sample packets and I think at some point I need to just go out and buy it because I do really, really like it. I have a few minis of the House of Lashes eyelash adhesive, and there's my hair stuck to them. That's unfortunate. These are my favorite lash glue, but I'm starting to wonder if these have gone off or if I'm a little bit allergic to the formula. I think it's more likely that these have gone off because my eye got a little bit inflamed the last time I wore lashes when I wore these. I brought these to Ottawa on vacation with me. I was there for about a few weeks ago. And my eye got like inflamed. Only on one side though, so maybe it wasn't the lash glue. I don't know, I feel like both sides should have gotten inflamed if it was the lash glue. But I got a little bit paranoid about these minis because I've had them for a while, so I was like, you know what, time to just throw them out. I don't love the black one as much. I just feel like it's unnecessarily difficult to apply black lash glue. I do prefer the white/clear one. So I am using a full size of the white one right now, and so far so good, but I probably won't know until tomorrow morning. I have two brow products here. The first one is the NYX Micro Brow in the shade Taupe, and the other one is the IT Cosmetics Brow Power, and I basically finished them up at the same time, which is perfect because I use them together. Now, I really love the NYX Micro Brow, and I have probably 5 or 6 backups because it's the perfect shade for me. However, I feel like the pencil is a little bit stiff, and I don't get a great edge on the bottom of my brow if I'm just using this one because my eyebrow is too floppy. So I feel like the IT Cosmetics Brow Power creates a perfect line for the bottom, and then I use the NYX one to fill in all of the top hairs. I mean, I basically have no brow, so I have to draw the whole thing in. So I really like the two of these like in conjunction with each other, and I do have another one of these open right now and another one of these open. So these are my fast brow products in the morning. And the very last item I have to talk about makes me smile because it's my absolute favorite nail polish, and I think this is the 3rd bottle that I finished. It's the Mary Kay New Blue Polish, and it came out for spring last year. I'm wearing it on my nails right now. It is the perfect blue color. There's a little bit of a green in it, but not a whole lot. I mean, this mostly just looks blue, but it's like that perfect tone. I've not found a dupe for it. People have sort of sent me ones that are similar, but they're not the same one. This is perfect. So I actually have another 4 bottles of this right now, and I think somebody else is sending me a bunch more. I'm so excited. I do not ever want to be without this polish, and I'm so sad that it was limited edition because it's the best thing I've ever put on my nails. Whew. Okay, that is everything. Those are all of my empties for the last 2 months. Thanks so much for watching today's video, and I'll catch you next time. Bye.